Hello Leo, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I want to say a great big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and left a comment, a thumbs up or a like and or shared my video as well, all my videos. So this is for September 2021, a mid-month one. So I was going to call it random, but it's not really random because I kind of like planned for it. But hey, for me it's random because I've actually caught up with it. So there may be something random going on, and there may be, I feel like, well, there may be something like spontaneous that you may be feeling in the spontaneous mood at the moment, Leo. So what I'm hearing is like go for it, because don't not hold yourself back and just allow yourself to go for it. So whatever that spontaneousness is like, it could be just go for a walk, and like you felt like I need to go for a walk and I want to go for a walk, so go for a walk. So anyway, I just want to like stop there right now, or or go back into my introduction and just remind everybody that these the messages that come through with these reads are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. Oh, that's come out again. So anyway, we are going to do like a 3-card draw here. I'm going to like also draw out we'll see if that happens actually. Another 3 and another couple from another deck. So just to like, these are just a quick read, just to like drop in, pop in, and then give like 3 messages that that you most need to know right now, and just give a little bit more of a follow-up of what that's about, just to keep you juju up, to keep your momentum going this month. So some of yous maybe, not all of yous, maybe have just like fallen into this funny little place, and some of yous, you may not be, but it may be coming, I don't know, but I'm not going to say this, let's not preempt it, but how our energy is like really fluctuating a lot lately, and sometimes we can go, our energy can just like plummet a little bit, and then we just pick ourselves up and go. So I feel that's what it is, and sometimes that energy can like really just like be quite frustrating, and there may be that sense of like just like going from A to B, like autopilot basically. So, and I feel like some of you maybe just like because it's just feeling like, oh, you know what, I'm over this, I need to do something like very, very different. So, or out of the blue for you, and making some changes around you, like to tweak whatever that space is that you're in. And I feel like you maybe some ideas, because I'm hearing and feeling some ideas that have come up that it's like, oh, I think I might just put my try my hand at that. Or I feel like some of you they're talking about like getting off your ass and doing something, and like taking yourself out of this funny little like mental emotional sort of space. You've got in your mindset's a little bit fucked up at the moment for some of you, not all of you, remember. So don't be offended. If it's not you, then it's not you. So this is like, own your space, because if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. But this is obviously going out, if it resonates with you. So if you're not in that space, then that's wonderful. But if you are, like asking you, Spirit are just talking about, pulling yourself out of that space. Okay. So whether it be at work, yourself, or home, and that it's like, everybody, I feel like they're just saying, this is about you, like looking at the bigger picture, rather than, the smaller picture, and like to expand your energy out. And when you're feeling a little bit like closed in, it's like, not let your head, your mind, or your thoughts close you, and push your energy out, so you can be the leader, lead your way out, be your own leader and lead the way out. So some of you of whatever the situation, because I feel like there's a lot of positive stuff out there, and people are like, getting on with it, but there's also a lot of not so good stuff, and there's a lot of stuff as well. So it can be quite confusing if you're sensing everything. But this is about really like staying in your own space, and like doing, feeling, seeing things that you love to do, and like being in your space of what matters to you, that is of the highest and greatest good, okay, for the greater good of one and all, and you'll have better results. Sometimes it kind of feels like maybe not, because people like don't understand you. Well, that's all right. Do your own thing with love and light. Anyway, so with the first card out, this card I've just done to Cancer and it's come out again. So the first card out, so pure, wild, pure heart. So there may be something, that's, they just, I feel like they're just going into that space, like when we were talking about earlier in the beginning there about, lifting your heart, loving yourself, and finding things that raise your vibration, and if you find it really really difficult, then music, go onto YouTube and find something that is really funny, like or go onto Facebook, and that Michael McIntyre may be one of those people that those comedians that make you really laugh. Is doing something like to help shift your energy. Nothing like a good belly laugh, and and a lot of comedians can help do that. So anyway, the Guardians fly high. So this is this card here. The Guardians fly high. And so they're talking about, this is about you flying high, literally, basically, is like bringing yourself out of this space here and flying high, going into meditation, bringing your, extending your vibration, lifting your vibration, your energy up, it's like, I'm just hearing even saging your space. It may be, that may be just to keep you in a space of just a little bit more jovial. And some of you, like I say, you may not be, I keep repeating that, so some of you may, I'm not like that, but it's like, didn't say you were all like that. And sometimes, we get like that on and off, and we may not think that we're like that, but somebody else in the family might, or somebody else, and it's like, so if you are really jumping up and down about that and having a cow about that, then I think there's something going on there where you may be needing to look at that for yourself and reflection. Generally, with this, my line of work, and having done work on myself, that's generally what it's about, needing to look at my own shit, okay? So anyway, we have here Queen Mab, your ancient wisdom is awakening. So there is something that's coming through that I feel is really, really beautiful. So, and usually when we're going through something, it's like when, that's what comes out of it. There's this ancient wisdom that has been buried that we haven't not been able to tap into. So whatever culture you are, or whatever, indigenous, energy that you are, there is, we've all got a history, and we can you could bring through all that, the knowledge, and that, especially the knowledge that lifts us and is, good for the greater one and all, and that, and bring through that and nurture that and, grow it and apply it to ourselves in, in a modernized form, of course. So anyway, so what they're doing is going into that space, and I feel like this is a really loving, healing space that they're talking about here. And flying high, I love this dragon, and she's flying high on the dragon. So that's what I mean, meditation can take us out where we can fly. And some of you maybe actually, like I say, literally flying. And I'm hearing, okay, maybe not so much in a plane overseas, but maybe from in your own country, depending on where you live, if you're able to. Okay, oopsie daisy, and we're going to go here. And then Queen Mab is there is a lot of, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are going into dream space, and dreaming a lot. Why this card? Because I keep seeing dream, and there's a lot of downloads or energy coming through, and you may be feeling a little bit whacked in the morning, or even some of you may be feeling a little bit okay, I'm not going to be able to get up in the morning because I'm just far out hell, I'm not being able to get much sleep, but somehow you get up early in the morning, or you get up in the morning and you're feeling good as gold. So there's a lot of that sort of energy, but I'm just thinking what I'm seeing and what's been running through my mind, not so much thinking, is and because this often happens to me with a lot of energy coming through and messages and guidance in my sleep time, but also in downloads and things like that in my daytime. But there's a lot of this this wisdom that's awakening, and I feel like a lot of you will be understanding that more so lately, that more. There is information, or there's stuff that but you don't really know deep down. It's pulling it. It's there. It's the essence of it is just taking that next step to trust it, or figure out how to implement it, to make it work for you, or figure it out, whatever the project is, okay, or idea is. So Four of Swords here is the next one here. So there may be something here that is taking a little bit of a rest, where some of yous, are like needing to take a little bit of a rest and take some time out. And even though, we've here in New Zealand, we've just, there's lockdowns in different levels, around in the country. So it's some of yous, you've made to have a rest on saying that. So, but in the meantime, while you're resting, there's something about planning and looking into the future. And looking at different ideas and for prosperity and abundance and what you can be doing, that is shifting some energy as well in the way that you're thinking, being, doing things, and giving things even. So I feel like some of you is like your businesses and your or your hobby business, or even your families have been having to adjust to things and change things around a bit, and looking for different ways of doing things, which is really, really awesome, because there's going to be you're in a space of like moving now, with the Eight of Wands. It's like going for your dreams, because this eights here is about action or taking action. So generally physical action in some way or form, but it could be in the form of researching, it could be in the form of planning, or doing a strategic plan. Whatever it is, or writing down, you're getting those ideas down on your piece of paper, and then doing like a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, or whatever it is, and then breaking it down into smaller chunks. So there is something there that, whatever that is for you. And it could be, doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a business. It could be like your 10-year, 5-year life plan, or, and then breaking it down into how you're going to make that happen. And when I say it's not so much about forcing it to happen, but it's like, taking action and doing things towards, creating it, making it happen, generating this, or what, things to come to you and you to go into it. Okay, so there's a lot of energy that's coming through, which is really, really cool. So I just feel like, because this is you, this is like, I feel like some of you are ready to move with something, but that's like, and maybe you're coming out of something to go, and you're ready to move, that you've had your rest, and you're ready to go. So I feel like this is flying high there. So it's like taking that, taking whatever it is that you're doing and going for it, basically. And then we have the Hermit here. So it's like, here's the Hermit, and I feel like you'll get another time when you're, like we're talking about the sleep time, when you're going within and you're taking that time out. I feel like, there are different, when it's like, I feel like, gosh, where they're going with that. It's like, when you get home or whatever it is like, hang on a minute. There's about a whole lot of energy that's here. That's like, okay, so what they're talking about is like, whether you, it's like making some time to go in, so you can understand what this energy is, and these downloads and or uploads that you've been receiving, to understand what it is. And meditation, stillness, is really one of those most amazing ways that I will always talk about. And many of you will always would have heard me a lot talking about meditation, because it just brings us into that space of stillness where we can like observe what is going on in our mind, and actually figure out how much crap does go on in there, so we can understand it, and then start to like reverse, not even reverse it. Some of the times it's reversing depending on what is going on there, but like taking a look at it. But I'm just hearing like tweaking it a bit, actually, was what that. And I'm hearing for some things it's about reversing it back, so you can see where going back to see where that came from, that mindset came from. That's what they're meaning by that. Not so much reversing it and like, backing up, but there is an element of that, but it's more like backing up to see where it came from. And then it's like, oh, right, that's not actually mine. But then we still keep going it, and, it keeps going, and it gets completely out of whack. So now, when we're in meditation, because it's our mind really like that's fighting a bit, it's like not used to doing that. So it's like, just don't fight it, just like go with it. And like everything, it takes practice. Okay, so if you're new to it, but they're talking about like just being still. And if you're going for a walk's amazing as well. And being focused, centered, and focused on what you're actually doing. Thoughts are going to come up, and when a thought comes up, talk to it. let it go, and it's like sort it out, and it's like, oh no, actually blah blah blah. I do it all the time, not always out loud, but I do it. And for me, it's like I figure out what that is about, and I'm less likely to go back there again, okay, and let that bug me or bother me. So usually anyway, that's how it works for me. And because that's what meditation is about. It's about observing what's running around in your mind, taking that time that's to see what it is. And when we do, it creates that space. And when we sort that out, it's less and less that does that happen, because we're more in control of our mind. Okay, so it's like okay, now we got the liberation. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. So and it's like when we, you know what it's like when we start to accomplish it, when you can accomplish things, it's like there's that sense of liberation, and it's free. It just frees your mind up. So it's like you don't really, it's like meditation. If you look for it like as a chore, it's going to be a chore, but it's like switching that around. It's like that's my go-to thing, and generally I will do a meditation every day. Sometimes it may be two, sometimes it may be like they may be, depending on what is going on, it may be I'm needing to do like a 5-minute one, sometimes it's a 10-minute one, sometimes it's an hour and a half one, depending on what is going on, what my intention is. And sometimes I might do 3 10-minute ones, depending on how busy my day is and what type of clients I've got coming in, and it's just like, and I like to do it just because I want to do it, and it's not necessarily waiting for something to go wrong to do it. It's just like having a glass of water every day, or eating food every day to nourish our body. And to drinking water to hydrate us, or fluids. It's the same sort of thing. So it's looking at it like that, okay, and taking and doing exercise every day to help us our blood to flow around our body, better, and it allows our the oxygen in our body, in our lungs and everything, for our blood to flow better, So it's really, really cool. So when you do that, and you'll notice the differences. And some of you're already doing that, and you'll probably really, really super agree with that. So anyway, there's one more card coming out here to add to this. So there's that sense of liberation, where I feel like this, like they say, this one is this read, or the messages that come here, really just to like lift your energy, to keep you going, let you know that you're on track if you're resident, that sort of thing, and or pick you up, whatever it is. Endearment, okay, number 19 in here. So it's like there's something maybe that's going on around you. So grounding, I'm hearing grounding, and then guidance. So there is something about being guided as well. So I feel like you are being guided in a specific direction. I feel like they're giving me that feeling like, for you, Leo, that there is, that amazing, energy that you have. And it's like there's something about moving in a specific in a direction, and not in there's that toing and froing, but don't let that go too far to that way or that way. That's this balance. So ground yourself, because you are being divinely guided, okay, then there is something around endearment as well, with somebody who is dear to you, I'm feeling, and that is like also they're saying to taking going into that heart space, basically. Okay, cool. Anyway, I hope that has helped you, like just to, give you an idea that you're still on track, or whatever it is, just keep that momentum going, and maybe answered some questions about what's going on in your head as well. And anyway, I've got, I'll be back next week just to begin the October 2021 readings as well. Okay, anyway, bye for now, and we'll see you next week.